Taurus, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for late July 2023. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes into energy and see what's going on for the lovely Taurus collective. I hope you're all doing fabulous, my friends. Shuffle it up here one time, see what we got for you, my guides. Talk to me. What's up with Taurus, please? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card, then we'll get into the full reading itself. And at the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean in on, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock. What do we got for Taurus? My guides, please. Start us off here nice and quick. And there we go. Okay, so we have some High Priestess energy right here up front, which I always find very intriguing. This is a very layered type of energy. There's a little mystery shrouding this card as well, but there's a lot of intuitive, divine feminine vibe showing up here right in the front end. Before we fully dive into that though, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the July subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. Also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, into the reading, let's talk about it. So we see this older feminine figure here. She is standing in front of a crystal ball. There's a lockbox right next to her. And within the crystal ball, there's a key. So that's what really draws the connection between my brain and the High Priestess card, because it shares a lot of similarities. Yes, the psychic, intuitive, matron type of vibe show up here, but this could be a card of important knowledge, hidden knowledge, secret knowledge. So whenever this type of energy shows up, I always say expect the unexpected. Maybe you're extra sensitive. That's a big thing I always say whenever High Priestess energy shows up, is that whether you're an empathetic person or not, those feelings could be very much heightened, and you could be tuning into the subtler energies when this shows up. So if you're going through any certain situation, Spirit might be asking you to go with your intuition, go with your gut as well. But aside from that and the mystery, this could be a big thirst for knowledge as well. A lot of you could be really diving into spiritual things. Let's get into tarot, though. I could keep talking about that card all night. Let's get 3 cards in the upright, then we'll get into the intuitive, juicy stuff. And I always say with the first card, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a footnote. So let's shuffle it up here one time, see what we have for you in late July, my friends. And while we do, let's talk about last week's reading, because it was intriguing to me. The title of last week's reading for Taurus was An Important Talk, and there was a big focus on communication. Now that's been showing up for other signs in recent weeks as well, but particularly for the Taurus collective, it felt like, yeah, there is some sort of conversation or talk of importance that either needs to be had or will be had, or you're lining it up. And remember, those energies could bleed over into the next coming week, so that could still reign true. But we're going to see what we have for you this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone, so only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or someone you're linked to. Let's get you 3 cards out here, my guides. What do we got for Taurus, please? Yeah, and the deck is trying to talk already. Half of it almost flew out of my hands right there. Let's get you your first 3, please. Thank you. Okay, so there is some sort of past connection with this card, with the 6 of Cups. Very interesting way to start. So we're starting with the past. Let's get you 2 more and we'll really start to build this picture. This could be someone doing a lot of reflecting. We got the Lovers, interpersonal connections. We have 2 cards of extremely powerful soul connections here. So your interpersonal connections could be really heightened. Okay, past, present, future. There's a big focus there. Okay, so we do have the Karmic card. We have Lady Justice right here on the back end. But you also have a bonus this week, Taurus. This is going to be a very layered one. We got the 6 of Swords right here as your bonus. So let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes, and we'll get into that juicy, intuitive stuff. So at first look, first glance, and it doesn't matter if you're going through romantic things or not. These cards can mean a lot of different things. But we do have cards of your connections, those that you're very closest to. Doesn't have to be romantic. 2 extremely powerful major arcana of the air suit. And when we think air, we think the mind. The 6 of Cups is also, to me, even though it's emotional, it's a card of the mind. So let's see how they all fit together. Position number 1, the 6 of Cups. You see the cute little imagery here. We have the 2 little kids. They're sharing a cup with each other. So to me, I always think of past. I think of history, whether good memories, bad memories, indifferent memories. You might be thinking back. sharing those memories with other people as well, thinking back on the good times, thinking back on the rough times. To me, this is just straight up a card of history. It could just represent someone that you've known for a very long time. There's a lot of history with this card. So whenever I see it, aside from the soul connection, which we see with the Lovers as well, this to me is a big card of the past and history. So there might be something linking from your past that could be coming back around in some sort of way. So we'll have to see what's up with that as we press forward through the reading. Now, getting to the second position, elementally, this is where we make a switch from emotional to the mental plane and the communication plane, because both of these are air. The Lovers. Extremely powerful. Now, this does represent the zodiac sign of Gemini. So maybe some of you are connected to Gemini. Way back, this card used to be called the Choice before it was the Lovers. So maybe some of you are making a decision. You might be at a fork in the road of some sort. To me, this is a very protective energy as well. This has the Archangel Raphael. It's super healing. So you might be trying to heal some old wounds. But we are once again talking about soul connections, those that you share a cord with in a very strong, powerful bond. Okay. Even with Lady Justice showing up here, there's a lot of universal energy at play. Maybe some of you, this is spiritual protection. If none of that applies, if we're not looking at people that you have a lot of history with, the Lovers to me is primo energy. It's silky smooth. It's easygoing, easy flowing type of energy. We love this around here. Now, moving to the back end, like I said, we do have more air because Lady Justice represents the zodiac sign of Libra. All right, so let me get this card in place. Now, Lady Justice has a lot of nuance to this card. When we see it, once again, this could be decisions, choices, being at a crossroads of some sort. Whenever I see Lady Justice, you might be weighing a choice. You might be bringing justice in some sort of way. I always say watch out for contracts, legal things, paperwork. Those are big, like little things that show up with this card. Now, the highest representation of this card to me, aside from an individual this might be, is karma. So we're looking at karmic archetypes. We're thinking of cycles, beginnings, endings. We're looking at journeys here. So when we have Lady Justice here, there's some powerful energy at play. So we're just going to place her down right over here, and this is going to give us a lot more detail as to what's going on in the reading. Now, moving to the very back end, you have a bonus. The Six of Swords, usually a good card of progress, forward movement, forward momentum, coming out of choppy waters into the calm. All cards are a double-edged sword, so those are the positives, things improving, things getting better. But a thing with this is make sure you're doing your due diligence with everything, dotting your I's, crossing your T's, because sometimes this card could represent somebody who's being a little forgetful or not doing what they're supposed to. So I want to dive deeper on all this. Remember, that's just a footnote as well, but let's dive deeper. We're going to jump in and clarify. All right. Let's get a good shuffle here for the Taurus collective. My God, so what do we got? What's going on? And yes, my friends, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on that Six of Cups. What's this past connection? What's this past link? And yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages that you want to give to Taurus, you could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. All right, Six of Cups time. Why is that Six of Cups here? Thank you. Okay, yeah. There is something or someone from the past that could be coming back around or re-emerging in this time. Whether it is a person you haven't talked to in quite a while. Once again, we have more of this air connection. And in tarot, air, what does it represent? Communication, realm of the mind. At the very least, this is someone possibly thinking about you as well. But the Knight of Swords is very fast movement. It's action. It's rushing in, and it's coming in fast. It's coming in hot. So when I see it underneath a card like the Six of Cups, especially for a lot of you, I don't know if this is old, this is new, or how it breaks down, but there is somebody at the very least energetically coming at you magnetically here. Like here they come quick on this horse, or here it comes very fast. So there is something rushing in here, and it could be something you've experienced already, or someone you have a lot of history with whenever this card shows up. And I feel like that's very simple, straight on its face. I don't think I need to complicate it too much. Of course, the Knight of Swords could also be a little combative, so maybe there's someone that brings up ancient history, like something that you thought was solved. For a portion of you, maybe that could be it. Maybe like a problem or situation you thought was solved could come bubbling up again. But for the vast majority of you, this is someone that you have quite a bit of history with that could be trying to swing back around. Whether you want it or not, energetically, they're moving towards you. So let's go in on that, on the Lovers here. We're not going to spend too much time there. Let's see what the Lovers have to say about this. Whether it's the same energy, whether it's a different one. But there is action connected to it. So why are the Lovers here for Taurus? Okay. Again. All right, you, Taurus, you guys might be extremely popular in the coming days and weeks. We have the Eight of Wands. Once again, another one of the fastest moving cards in the whole entire deck. So you might have connections from the old. You might have connections that are new. Whether this is 1, 2, or various different connections, you might have a lot of people trying to hit you up in this time. The Eight of Wands, that fast forward movement and momentum. Notice that these are both moving in different directions. So maybe some of you do have a choice. Like keep things as is or go off on a new route. That's obviously not every single one of you. But the one thing I can say when this card shows up, at the very least, there is somebody that wants to talk to you. Okay, we saw it in last week's reading, an important talk. This is one of the cards of sending messages. So I wouldn't be surprised if someone hits you up, slides in a DM, slings you a text, whatever you want to call it. But both of these energies of soul connections, and you could see it too, especially if you know what tarot cards mean. We don't have to get too intuitive here because both of these energies are moving at you very, very quick. So once again, I feel like a lot of Taurus is like, here it comes, here they come, whatever him or them or they might be. I feel like this is very, very powerful and it's moving at you fast. So I think a lot of you are going to be very, very popular, whether you want it or not, right? Like some of you are like, oh, I'm doing my own thing over here. Like, I'm good. Let's move in on Justice. But there are a lot of people that may want to, at the very least, communicate with you or want your attention. Like very popular. Okay. And if you're cross-watching for a Taurus, remember these energies could flip-flop, right? This could be however it hits for you. Let's go in on that Lady Justice, then we'll do a quick recap before we get into the shadow. So why is Lady Justice here for Taurus, please? Super interesting reading. Notice now we have the fire coming in, mixing with the air energy. Four of Pentacles. Okay. Yeah, but you might be tempted to just like shut it all down. Okay, we have the Four of Pentacles underneath Lady Justice. For a portion of you, like there might be something that you are not willing to... You ever hear the phrase, I can forgive, but I'll never forget? That's a vibe I'm picking up here with this Four of Pentacles under Lady Justice. Seriously. So for a portion of you, whether this is new or old or whatever it might be, whatever it is you're going through, like you might be able to forgive somebody of something, but you'll never forget it. So whether it's things that have already happened, whether it's things you're going through now. Now the Four of Pentacles is a clamp down card. It's not moving. Okay. Sometimes I do say this could be a possessive individual, a jealous individual. That could be it when this card shows up. It could be very prudent as well. So I feel like for a lot of you, you might need to hear this financially. If you're signing any sort of contracts, regardless of what they are, whether they're minor, whether they're major, whether you're applying for a credit card, signing a mortgage, getting a car, whatever it might be, anything financial, be extremely detailed. Anything contractual, anything legal, be very detail oriented and be extremely careful in this time. But if we are still talking in the realm of relationship, like you might just be shutting a lot of people out and shutting a lot of people down. Okay, like there might be something that you either feel is off or like you can't forget it for whatever reason. Take that for what it's worth, my friends. But I still feel like a lot of you, like all this energy is moving towards you, but you might be blocking it out for whatever reason. Let's go through and do a quick recap. Super interesting flow of energy here. If you kindly look in the box here, Taurus, in position number 1, we have the Six of Cups with the Knight of Swords. Might be a long-lasting connection with an air sign, but I feel this energy moving back towards you, whether it's something you've gone through, a problem or an issue that you thought was solved, could come back around, but this could be someone you have a lot of history with that is moving towards you energetically. Could be something new over here as we move forward, because both of these energies of soul connections and people are moving towards you. So once again, you could be extremely popular in this time, my friends, which might be good depending on how you perceive it looking at the end. When we get to the very back end, yeah, a lot of people wanting to talk to you. we have Lady Justice with the Four of Pentacles. I did say this is someone in the mode where I can forgive, but I can't forget. So I don't know if that plays a role with whatever it is you're going through, but I did also say whatever you are, like if you're signing contracts or entering into new agreements, anything like that, be extra, extra careful in this time. That's what that tells me. So maybe jot that down. Please take a screenshot of that, Taurus. Let's get you one shadow card here. Let's see what we got in the shadows for Taurus, please, my guides. Okay, and I always like to pull one shadow card at the very end. I feel like it's a nice thing to do. It's introspective. Okay, so whether it's something within yourself, whether it's something you don't quite see, let's see what we have in the shadows for Taurus, please. Okay, that card almost popped out initially, right? You know me, I only pull jumpers. Oh, look at this. We have a repeat card. We have the Six of Swords once again. So remember way back when I was talking about this Six of Swords, usually a card of improvement, but it's also a card of doing your due diligence and making sure you're doing what you're supposed to. But let's talk about it a little further. When we see this card, the Six of Swords, show up as a shadow card, technically we do want to look at the shadow side of it. For a portion of you, maybe you might have some abandonment issues that could come bubbling up to the surface in this time. Feelings of loneliness and solitude, because this can be a card of someone running away as well. Some of you might be having a flight response in this time. Like you might feel pressured, and you might want to bolt from something. When I see this card in the shadows, now I don't know what the root cause of that is. I'm just saying the energy here is showing up. However, we will add an optimistic streak. Regardless of whether this is a shadow card or not, you got it twice, which is a big card of movement, forward progress, forward momentum, which I really like. The energy is very fluid around Taurus in this time, especially with what I was seeing. But yes, my friends, that's what I have for you this week. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details of the July subscriber surprise. If you got your name in for the June subscriber surprise, the winners will be announced in my community tab after this week's fire and air signs readings. But for July, I'll be giving away 2 copies of the Everyday Witches Tarot. Once again, one of my favorite decks and one of the first ones I ever gave away on this channel. So if you'd like to get your name in for this, 2 simple things as always, my friends. First, you must be subscribed, which I'm sure you already are. And second, let me know down in the comments, out of all the tarot suits, which one has your favorite art style? Is it the swords, wands, pentacles, cups, even the major arcana? You'll be entered to win. And at the end of July, I'll put the winners in my community tab. As always, my friends, much love, and I'll see you soon.